If a 2-gallon bucket of liquid floor polish costs $19.20, how much would 1 quart cost? So another unit conversion. We're going to go from gallons to quarts. So we know that it costs $19.20 for 2 gallons. Let's find out how many quarts are in a gallon. So 4 quarts is equal to 1 gallon, right? So if I needed to change from the 2 gallons to quarts, I would just have to multiply this by the 4. And that would mean that it's going to cost $19.20 to get 8 quarts. Does everyone follow okay up to there?
Yeah.
All right. So now that we have that, again, we can kind of continue the proportion. So we're going to have 8 quarts. And we want to know the price of 1 quart. So 1 on this side. And we want to know the price. So you cross multiply and divide. So the price of 1 quart would be 19.2 or 19.20. It's not going to make a difference at 0 at the end. So I'm just going to put 19.2 divided by 8. Because the number on the outside here is a whole number, I don't need to worry about moving the decimal. I can just transfer that upstairs. 8 fits in 19 twice, giving you 16. That would give you 3. That would bring down the 2, and this would be 4. So it's going to cost a total of $2.40. All right. Any questions so far? Anything that confuses you? Anything that doesn't make sense? No?
No.
Cool, cool, cool. All right. A bank is offering a loan to account holders. If they pay the full off in 14 months, they are charged no interest. Denise needs $6,500 loan to get a new car. In order for her to avoid the interest charge, how much will she have to pay back each month? Okay. She's going to borrow $6,500. She doesn't want to have to pay interest, which means she's going to have to pay absolutely everything in 14 months. So that means that we're just going to need to divide the 6,500. We just need to divide that by 14 so we can find out how much she's going to pay each month so that she doesn't have to get any interest. So we're going to divide this by 14. So let's see what we get. 14 would fit into 65 at least 4 times. So let's see. 4 times 4 is going to be 16. Carry the 1. 4 plus 1 is going to be 5. So what am I going to get here? I'm going to get 9. Yes. Bring down the 0. 14 would fit into 90. 6 times? 5 times?
Yeah.
All right, let's try 5. Are you sure it's not 6? I feel like it would fit another time. I'm going to try 6, but if I'm wrong, then you're right, it's 5. So this is going to be 24, carry that 2, and that'll be 8. Yeah, it does fit 6 times. All right. So then this is going to be 8, 10, that'll be 6. And then bring down the last 0. That's going to be 60, which we already know is going to fit only 4 times, and that'll be 56. And this is going to give us 4. Now, realistically speaking, should you keep going to find the final answer with the decimal and everything? Of course you should. That's the mathematic correct thing to do. But technically speaking, you can kind of already see what your answer is going to be because there's only one answer so far that has exactly what we have, and that's going to be this one. So we can go ahead and just save ourselves a couple of seconds, especially on the test where you have a timer. You can save yourself a couple of extra seconds and say, you know what, there's only one answer that's going to fit, and it's going to be that one. If you feel like that's taking too much of a risk and you want to keep going to the decimal, that's okay. There's no problem with that. So, like, at all. I'm just trying to teach, like, help you learn little tricks to save time. So, obviously, this would only fit twice. That would be 28, and so on and so on and so on. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Cool. Next. A recipe calls for 4 2/3 cups of flour. If you have 3 1/2 cups, how much more flour do you need? All right, so we need 4 2/3, and we only have 3 1/2. So to find out how much you're missing, what would you need to do?
You have to multiply.
Rest.
Yeah, you have to subtract. You have to subtract. Because if I tell you you need $20, but you only have $10, and I ask you how many are you missing, what would you do? You would subtract and say, I'm missing $10. So that's what we're going to do here. We need to subtract. So we have two mixed numbers, and we don't like mixed numbers. They're annoying. So let's change them into improper fractions by multiplying and then adding. So this first one would become 12. That would be 14/3 minus 6 plus 1 is going to be 7/2. Now, in order to subtract fractions, you have the same rule as adding, which is that you need the same denominator. So to keep life simple, I'm just going to multiply this and this by 2, and I multiply this and this by 3, so that way I get 6 at the bottom and they match. 14 times 2 is 28. 7 times 3 is 21. Now we can subtract. 28 minus 21 would be 7. And all of your answer choices are mixed numbers, so we just have to change this back. And this would be 1 and 1/6 cups. Is this clear to everyone? Any part of it, any step that I did that maybe you need me to clarify for you?
Did you simplify 7/6?
Yeah, what I did was I essentially divided 7 by 6, and then that only fits one time. And then your remainder becomes the numerator, and the denominator stays the same.
That makes sense. Thank you.